I think that everyone learned from their surrounding even when they were a kid without even knowing. And some of those may come from just hearing other people experience, or they tell you what you should do because it was something that they learned from their own experience or just other people's story. But generally, the people who have a lot of influence to the least influence should always be the people who closer to you, your family and stuff. And then the people who are less close, like your friend, go further away, your teacher, and then it should be people on the internet. But nowadays, I do see that a lot of people listen to the people on the internet more than those who are close to them. But here are things that I learned from my dad. Number one, money rule everything. My dad was a successful man, and of course, he was very wealthy. Well, he's not extremely wealthy, but he got the money. And so a lot of things that he do is, well, he could do possibly a lot of things that my family could never do. He could afford good food, he afford a house, he had it all, to be honest. And as a young kid, he was the one I used to look up to. Keyword is use. He got everything for a 16 years old to look up to. He got the money, the house. Yeah, basically those two things are the only thing I want as a 16-year-old, because I want to be an architecture. If I have my own house, I could do whatever I want with that house, right? I could design a whole lot of other things. But yeah, I think that the way he value money is extreme to the extreme. He value money more than anything. Which bring up to the second point, money isn't everything. My dad was, I would say, a smart man, but he wasn't a great father, but not a terrible one either. He is on the bad side of what being a human is. Like what's wrong with extremely successful people and being an asshole? Like there gotta be a correlation to that. Did money change people or something? But no, money did not change him. He's just a really bad person in the beginning before he got all the money in a way. But yeah, money isn't everything. Having money doesn't mean that you can have everything else, like happiness, fulfillment. He got the money, but his family doesn't really love him. So in some way, looking at my father and how he treated his family, or just those who are close to him, those who he's supposed to care for, it just makes me realize that maybe having money isn't everything. Maybe having something like a family, a sense of purpose, a sense of fulfillment in life is what I should aim for. Not just aim for a comfortable, maybe of course I should aim for a comfortable and sustainable life, but I choose to have a fulfillment thing in my life, such as doing art and YouTube, which isn't something that could bring me money anytime soon. So yeah. The third thing, do it right away, or do not procrastinate. My father was the type of person to get ready at 7 p.m. the day before his flight at 1 p.m. That's just how he is. And a lot of time when he tell me to do anything, he would tell to do it right away, like straight immediately. Like that, I need to buy a book for my next week assignment, right? And then 5 minutes or 10 minutes later, he would just come to my house and say, okay, which book are you gonna buy? Come on, let's go. As much as the way he is to me, I am a very procrastinate person. I have script, that is at least 2 years now that I haven't touched on yet. Don't procrastinate. If you got something that you can do and you should do it right away, just do it right away. Don't procrastinate. Number 4 is that be understanding and do not be angry. My father was an angry man, extremely angry. Yeah, that's basically the vibe I get from him. But yeah, it's not a really good thing to learn from. And I believe that myself learn that or just like absorb his energy or something. Like it in the blood. We were extremely angry from time to time whenever our mother say something that we don't really like, and we just shout it out extremely loud. And thinking back, it was kind of hurtful to my mother, and I don't want that, to be honest. I love my mother, but yeah, be understanding, try to understand the other person perspective, try to listen to them, and don't be angry all the time. Like I'm pretty sure my dad have anger issue, but having a son like me, he deserves to be angry, to be honest. Anyway, final tip: waking up early. From what I heard from my mother and the thing that I saw him do is that he always sleep like 10 p.m. or at the very late 11 p.m. Like that is the latest that he would go to sleep, and he usually wake up around 5 p.m. He wake up extremely early, and what does he do with it? Nothing. Not like those morning person on the internet. He wake up and he just watch his phone or the news. Yeah, just chilling before he go to work. I think that is a pretty cool thing. I'm trying to be a morning person and a night owl at the same time for my other video. But yeah, I think the experience that we learn from other people, not just good experience, but we also need to learn from bad experience, bad people, to know that yeah, this isn't something that I should do. And just like my father, he isn't the greatest man ever alive, but he wasn't a terrible one. And a lot of things that I learned from my father is good thing, whether the thing that I learned from him is good or bad. In the end of the day, if I became a better person thanks to my father, it is a win-win, and that is something I think everyone should be try to learn from other people. Don't just learn from extremely successful people, but also learn from people who fail, people who is an extreme loser or something like that. Because in the end of the day, it's just experience, and the more you get, the better. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next one. Goodbye.